Back with you at Rogers Arena in Vancouver as we continue with After Hours. In the hot seat now is Michael Del Zotto of the Vancouver Canucks. Are you ready for This Is Your Life? You're looking kind of nervous there.
I know. Between the two of you here, you guys are, I don't know here. It's going to be a little tough.
Your talent extends beyond the ice surface, and we found this on your Instagram account.
One of my favorite songs, actually. Should we enjoy this, or should I talk over top?
Well, let's just listen to it. Okay, I wanted to listen to that because you're good. So the question is, if you'd played the sax regularly, at what level do you think it'd be?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I played growing up when I was in high school, and then I kind of got music going again a few years ago when I was in Philly. I was got myself watching Netflix 8-9 hours a day, and thought to myself, I got to do something more productive with my life, and bought a saxophone. Started playing again, and I just love the sound. And guys, teasing me a little bit this morning, saying, it's just a fad and it's going to be out in a couple of years. I said I love the sound and I love playing it. How good I can be, I don't know.
Is
it's
that
just
an
a fad.
E-flat alto sax?
Yeah. See, you know your stuff.
Wow.
Eh? Wow. You've done your research here. Good for
Our
you.
director, Ron Forsyth, is a musician of
Good
sorts,
for
and he
you.
fed me that.
Yeah.
So that's a great start to the show right there, Michael, I think. So we'll get back to music in a second. But first, the challenge the Canucks face on a nightly basis now to rise above their injury list. Louis, you follow up.
Yeah, no question. With the personnel that you have over the lineup, just an uphill battle. But talk about how you guys have been able to compete, put your best foot forward, and struggle and try and win games through this trying time.
Yeah, I mean, you get one or two injuries, it's tough. You get as many as we've had and a couple long ones, and I think that's the toughest part. It's not dealing with one injury or two injuries for a week. We have some guys out 4 to 6 weeks, and I think the biggest emotional loss was with Doris, and that's a tough one. He's the heart and soul of this team. That was a tough pill to swallow, but for us, we had to win by committee. It's not going to be one or two guys that are going to get us out of this, and we're going through a little bit of a tough time, but we'll get better here.
Okay, enough hockey talk for the moment because I want to get back to music. Tell us about DJ MDZ. You would say Z in the U.S. In Canada, you would be DJ MDZ, which doesn't roll off your tongue quite the same manner. But let's have a listen to some of your work here.
I love the head bob in here.
Look at that. You got to feel the beat. Feel the beat. Yeah.
So, Michael, are you a DJ for hire?
Yes. In the summer, I played a couple gigs. The last summer was awesome. I went to Miami, Montreal. Played in Toronto, which was pretty cool. I had a bunch of my buddies come out.
At the film festival, I think, right?
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. Yeah,
okay.
2 years ago. And that was probably the most fun I ever had. I was only supposed to play an hour or two.
Pictures here.
I was only supposed to play an hour or two, and then the crowd seemed to love my stuff, and ended up playing 5-6 hours, and I had a great time.
DJing can be a seriously lucrative career. Tiesto brought in $22 million last year. Skrillex, $15 million, according to Forbes magazine. Are you thinking about this as the next career, possibly?
It's a lot more than I'm making now in the NHL, but I don't know if I'm
yeah, you're sorely underpaid here.
I don't know if I'm going to be making that much DJing. It's just same thing with the saxophone. It just became a hobby of mine, something I enjoy doing. Kind of started out just playing for the guys in the locker room, and they seem to enjoy it, and been playing some gigs, and it's just been a big passion of mine. I think with music for me is if you have a tough day at the rink, you go home, you play with some with music and make your own stuff. It just allows you to get your mind off the game and kind of reset mentally, and it's been fun for me.
Who controls the music in the Canuck room? Because certainly as a semi-pro DJ, it's got to be you.
Before the games, it's me. I get the boys pumped up. On practice days, there's a lot of country in the room. Stutzy's got a big pull on that, and that's one thing I can't stand country. So when that's on, I seem to leave and just go into the weight room and do my thing.
I'm sorry to say that country is the purest form of music.
Agree to disagree.
You got to be able to work it in there with that table.
And Brandon would agree with that, I'm sure.
I don't think anyone's listening to country and getting pumped up for a game. I'm just not sure that's going to work.
I think this popped off here again. Can we? Okay, there you are. You good?
Good.
Okay.
Good now, yeah.
What do you remember about October 25th, 2017?
Oh boy.
You see, I'm shocked totally that you don't recall that as the day that Hello Magazine named you one of Canada's most eligible bachelors.
Look at that.
Your teammates dined out on this designation, and Ben Hutton spoke on behalf of the Canucks team.
I don't know where the applications were for this. He must have filled out a lot of papers, put in a lot of extra work, because that's questionable.
You know, I think someone from Canuck TV asked you at the time, so I'm repeating the question. Was it worth all the aggravation you took from 19 teammates to be named one of Canada's 25 hottest bachelors?
100%. I think guys are just jealous. Anytime that happens, I don't think you're going to be upset about it. I actually didn't know until it came out. I found out the morning of. Our PR team had mentioned it to me, and I knew right away I was going to take some heat, but I thought it was pretty cool. You know, there's some big names being mentioned the same magazine as Justin Bieber's pretty cool, I'd say.
Well, listen, Michael, this may all be wrong because according to your Instagram account, you've already been married. Look at this picture.
That's no, false advertisement. That was a photo shoot I did for Bridal Magazine, Wedding Magazine a couple years ago. It was a cool experience. You know, they asked me if I wanted to do it at the end of the season. It was actually weird timing. I just had surgery, so I had a cast on my one arm, so it was kind of tough cropping out some of the pictures and keeping my arm out of the shot.
Well, lucky that we've clarified that. Louis.
You know, some great suits, though, and some great attire that you're wearing in those pictures. I know you're a style and guide. Is that something that comes natural to you, or do you gain some information doing these shoots?
I gained it in New York. Being in New York at 19 years old, I remember when I was in junior, I was wearing sweatpants every single day to the rink. I wanted to be comfortable. Same thing, I went to New York, and then you look at Henrik Lundqvist comes in every day in a three-piece.
It's like a male model himself.
He shows up for the pregame skate and practice in a three-piece suit.
And then you have Sean Avery giving you a tough time, so you had to step up your game pretty quickly, or else you weren't leaving the rink with much confidence.
The Brick Super Novice Tournament website, it's a gold mine for NHL stars at the age of 10. You can find most Canadian players who've achieved anything in the game there, and including you. We'll listen to this.
From the draw, it goes into the corner. Del Zotto has it, comes out in front, backhand save by Martin
Back
Jones.
in my forward days here, just an animal on the puck.
On the far side, Del Zotto recovers. Gets it ahead to Robertson. Got the big kids out there. Now there's the shot from the front.
So clearly you were not getting off the ice on that shift until you scored.
No, I wasn't. If only goals came out easy now. I think that was a year or two before my dad actually switched me to defense, and obviously clearly worked out for me. So it's a little more fun on being forward. You know, it wasn't as much scrutiny when he made a mistake or whatnot. But what a tournament, and you saw some names there playing with Stamkos, Pietrangelo, we played tonight. The best story I remember from that, it wasn't just the hockey. One of the coolest things I've ever done is they had a racetrack there, but it was bumper cars, go-karting, and laser tag all in one.
Oh, the West Edmonton Mall.
Yeah, and I remember, to this day, it was probably the most fun I've ever had in my life. It was one of the coolest things ever.
The 2006 Markham Waxers that won the RBC Cup were a stacked team with you, Cody Hodgson, Steve Stamkos, and you and Steve Stamkos spent a lot of time working out together in Richmond Hill. This was workout sessions, I think, as you guys were heading into your first season in the NHL, and you were hard-pressed there, as we could see, Michael.
Sleeves were off at the time, obviously. It was an upper body day, It wasn't a leg day.
Here you are 9 years ago stating the obvious.
Obviously, skating's a huge part of the hockey, and it's the biggest thing. Is squats is a huge thing, part of your workout. So we did that with pop-ups, which helps your quickness and explosiveness off the ground, and then squat jumps. So it's just basically a bagger on your legs, and it builds them up. We talk about that. We're doing those extra 30 squat jumps at the end. It helps you when you get into overtime and your legs aren't feeling bagged.
Boy, it's neat to see that, Michael, from almost a decade ago. So, yes, you were right at the time. Skating is a big part of the game. How much did you and Stamkos help each other in working out?
Yeah, we played together for quite a few years at Markham. I think the biggest thing with us was how much we pushed each other. We were together all the time, working out, skating, practicing, and we always wanted to beat each other. I think that was the competitive nature, and look at him now, one of the best players in the world. It was a pretty special friendship that we had growing up.
And then there was a reunion of the 06 Markham Waxers, I think a few years later.
My name's Steven Stamkos of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and welcome to OMHA Hometown Hockey.
Welcome to OMHA Hometown Hockey.
Welcome to OMHA Hometown Hockey.
Hi, I'm Michael Del Zotto of the Oshawa. Next one.
New York Rangers. New York Rangers.
Yeah, you momentarily forgot you were in the NHL.
Yeah, I still making some mistakes. I wasn't media trained at the time. I was still working on it.
Tweet from Gibby Gibbons. What's your off-season daily training routine? I need to know because the guys in my beer league team think I'm not back-checking enough.
I think that's just work ethic. That's not going to be the off-season training. For me, to be honest, more and more rest. That's been a big thing for me. You know, I've dealt with quite a few injuries in the past, and trying to keep the body healthy in season is such a grind, physically and mentally. So trying to stay healthy throughout 82 games was the key for me going into the season. So you know, in the off season was a big test with me and Matt Nickel. We talked about it before the summer. Is not pushing yourself every single day to, his term is pushing the gas when it's empty and you're hammering on the gas pedal. And if you don't have any gas in the tank, then it's not doing you any good.
As we said before, if you're going to play for the Vancouver Canucks, you're going to have to expand your social conscience, except I'm told you don't have to be prodded or scheduled. So tell me, how much time do you spend visiting at Ronald McDonald House and BC Children's Hospital on your own, unscheduled?
I try to get there at least once a week when we're home. It's a little different being in the West, traveling so much, but
it's a nice poop hat, by the way.
Yeah, there's Alice, who I met for the first time, and she's going through a tough time, and she has 1 in 14, the disease she has in the world, which is pretty rare. And here's Abby, who's a special young girl, and her smile lights up the room. So every time I get there, I try to play with the kids. They love playing Mario Kart. Unfortunately, I thought it was good until I played these kids, and they put a whooping on me, so I got to work on my game before I go back there again.
Perfect. We joked with Scotty Upshall earlier on the program that he shouldn't decide to pursue acting as a career. You, on the other hand, have actually been in a movie, Goon, The Last Enforcers, which was the sequel to Jay Baruchel's first Goon movie. So tell us about playing Carlson of the St. John's Shamrocks.
I haven't seen it yet. I saw it for the first time. They showed me the clip on the plane. It was like a 1:20 clip. It's a tough shift. I give a Suey pass to start, get a teammate blown up, then I get a shot blocked, and then I get a minus, and I give it to the ref after. So probably not the best shift I've had in my career, but it was a neat experience. When I got asked to do it, I said yes right away. Me and Tyler Sagan were in it. It's pretty cool behind the scenes to see what actually goes on. We were in, as I said, a 1:20 scene, and it took almost half a day to shoot it all. So you gain a lot of respect for what the actors and actresses do on a daily basis to make these movies.
Best Christmas gift ever?
Hockey net. I remember waking up one morning and upstairs, and we had big windows that led out to the backyard, and we had a backyard rink. My dad and my grandpa always made that for us, which was special. Having an older brother, you couldn't get us off there, and we always grew up with the road hockey net on the ice, and we were beating it up. We had dents everywhere, and we had a real hockey net waiting on the deck for us. And I remember me and my brother were so excited because actually, if you put it off the post, it wasn't going to make a dent in it and knock it into the snowbank. So that was probably my best gift.
Merry Christmas. Great to have you on the program. Michael Del Zotto, a musician, an actor, a hot bachelor apparently, and the Vancouver Canuck, our guest on After Hours. Back to conclude the proceedings here in a moment.